All right, guys. The market has been set and teams got to act accordingly. Free agency is here in the WNBA, and we have seen some fireworks already. Now, guys, if y'all don't know, now you know there was a blockbuster trade that happened over the weekend that involved three teams. It involved the Las Vegas Aces, the Los Angeles Sparks, and the Seattle Storm. And in this three-team trade, we saw two of the biggest names in the WNBA get traded. Jewell Loyd is leaving the Seattle Storm and is heading to the Las Vegas Aces. Also, the Aces got the number 13th pick in the 2025 draft, courtesy of LA. We saw Kelsey Plum head on over back to where she is from in California to join the LA Sparks. And also, the Sparks got the number 9 pick in the 2025 draft from Seattle and got the second pick, a second round pick from Seattle in the 2026 WNBA draft. And the Seattle Storm, for their efforts in getting rid of one of their best players, they got the number 2 pick in the 2025 draft from LA. They got Lee Yuru, and they got a first round pick in the 2026 draft, courtesy of Las Vegas. So, massive deals. Jewell Loyd shipped to Vegas. Kelsey Plum shipped to Los Angeles. And guys, the market has been set. Jewell Loyd wanted to leave Seattle. She requested the trade. She wanted to leave. She let it. She said, "Hey, get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore." She accused the coaching staff of bullying and whatnot. There was an investigation done by the team, found nothing. After that, she was like, you know what? Peace out. I want to be gone. Send me somewhere else. And so they started shopping. And Seattle, even though Jewell Loyd is on a 1-year deal, Seattle was like, nah, we're not getting rid of Jewell Loyd for nothing. If we're getting rid of Jewell Loyd, we need a lot in return. So they had conversations with teams. They had a conversation with the Chicago Sky. They couldn't work out something that was mutually beneficial, i.e., I think Chicago didn't want to give up everything that Seattle wanted for Jewell Loyd for 1 year. And the LA Sparks were in a situation where they're like, you know what? We don't really know who's coming out of this WNBA draft. We have the number 2 pick, but at the same time, we want Paige Bueckers, but we have no idea if we're even get Paige Bueckers because we don't have the number 1 pick. And we don't know who else we're really going to see out there. We like Kelsey Plum. We got a new coach who is going to emphasize three-point shooting. We all know Kelsey Plum can shoot threes. And we don't really want to take the gamble of figuring out who that number 2 pick ultimately will be because we don't really know who's going to declare. Because Paige can go back for another year if she wants. Or she could just get drafted by Dallas at number 1, and that's really the player we wanted. So let's shop the number 2 pick and let's see what we can get. And they were able to pick up Kelsey Plum in return. They got the number 9 pick, which will get them a pretty good player, but not a starter for LA. And now they're just going to work from there. They got Cameron Brink, who is getting healthy off of injury. They got Azurá Stevens. They have Rakia Jackson. And now they will have Kelsey Plum in their lineup. Also, you are reuniting two besties in Dearica Hamby and Kelsey Plum. Now, some of y'all, I've seen some people talking about Dearica and Kelsey on social media, saying, "Oh, Kelsey's going to play with Dearica, and Dearica didn't like Vegas." No, that is misinformation, guys. Dearica had an issue with the front office in Vegas. Didn't have an issue with the players. From what I was able to tell from watching her play for Vegas and also just watching her interact with the players afterwards, like she didn't have an issue with the players. She had an issue with the coaches, aka Becky Hammon, and had an issue with the front office. That was Dearica Hamby's issue, and also the lawsuit is still ongoing and. I'll have an update later this week about where that lawsuit stands. So yeah, record blockbuster trade of the offseason so far, with the LA Sparks parting with their number 2 pick to pick up Kelsey Plum, and Seattle got better because they got the number 2 pick. They got Ligiru, and then hey, if Vegas doesn't do anything this upcoming year, that first round pick could be pretty special. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I think that this trade really has reset the market and said what the bar is for a top tier player, even if they're on a deal for one more year, which means that we're probably going to see some more action. We're probably going to see some bigger trades happen this offseason, and the price just went up for everybody. So we have lots of players who have got court so far. Kelsey Mitchell, Kelsey Plum, Satou Sabally, Brianna Stewart, Alyssa Thomas, and Gabby Williams. Here's the thing. Kelsey Plum already got shipped to LA, though that trade will become official on February the 1st. So right now, players cannot sign their core contract. So, right now, they're waiting until February 1st until that becomes officially official. But yes, it's happening. Kelsey Plum is looking forward to re-signing with LA after that 1 year is up. And so, yeah, she'll stay probably in LA probably for the majority of the remainder of her career. So that you got that core piece figured out. Already traded. Kelsey Mitchell, not getting traded. I don't see that happening at all. Brianna Stewart, not getting traded. Not happening. Gabby Williams, not getting traded. However, Satou Sabally, Alyssa Thomas, there's a good chance they will get traded. Satou Sabally has already been outspoken about it, saying that she wants that she is in talks with Dallas to send her somewhere else. She does not want to play in Dallas anymore. She's gone. So the question is, if you got the second pick in the draft for Kelsey Plum, now what does the market say for Satou Sabally? I think Dallas is not going to part ways with Satou Sabally without a likely top 10 pick in the draft. If Kelsey Plum goes for the second pick, Satou Sabally, Dallas, I guarantee you, they're like, you know what, we want top 10 or better for the first round in this year's upcoming draft. We understand Satou Sabally has dealt with a crazy amount of injuries and all that jazz, but we want some stuff for Satou Sabally. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. So there's lots of speculation around where Satou Sabally will ultimately end up. I do think she's going to a team that has a top 10 pick in this year's draft, because Dallas is not going to see what the Aces and the Storm were able to do, and specifically what the Sparks were able to do, and not see that they can try to do something similar. So yeah, Satou Sabally is going to be gone, possibly to a team like Indiana, if they're willing to part with their first round pick. That's a big if. Now, does that happen? If I'm Indiana, I'm probably saying no to that trade. If Dallas wants my first round pick, I'm probably saying no, because that first round pick can wind you up with Alyssa Morrow in the draft, and Alyssa Morrow is a crazy talent. And yes, Satou Sabally is better than Alyssa, but at the same time, Satou has been dealing with injuries left and right. I could possibly see the Golden State Valkyries trading possibly for a player like a Satou Sabally. They have a top 5 pick. I do think that's possible. And I could actually see that kind of working out pretty well, actually, if they were to trade that, because there is a good chance that Satou would love Golden State, and she would probably stay there for longer than just that 1 year. So it's Indiana, it's Golden State, it's those are two teams that I could see her possibly going to, but I don't necessarily see Indiana giving Dallas what they want. But I could see a scenario where Golden State is just trying to get stars in. They're trying to make some buzz, and they might be more willing to take the risk on a injury-ridden Satou Sabally. Like, I could possibly see that happening. For Alyssa Thomas, she's expressed displeasure around the amenities for Connecticut. Connecticut is going to be a very, very different team. They do have a new coach coming in. The former current Belgium national team coach is headed to the Connecticut Sun, and there's questions about is he just going to make Connecticut Belgium 2.0? Is Emma Mieseman coming back to the WNBA? Is she going to play for Connecticut? Like what's going to happen ultimately for this team? I don't know. I think there is a decent chance that they at least shop around Alyssa Thomas and just try to see who may want her. I mean, a lot of teams want her because she's a fantastic player, but like I think the big question is like, where does Alyssa fit in? To me, I think Phoenix could be a very interesting get for Alyssa Thomas. If I am Connecticut, I'm looking at Phoenix and I'm like, can we work something out? I think it could be pretty interesting because DeWanna Bonner's free agent. Like I could see her coming back to Phoenix, and for the most part, they're kind of a package deal. And so I could see Connecticut um, wanting to trade Alyssa to get some good assets. And if I'm Phoenix, I'm making a trade for Alyssa because likely Brittany Griner is not going to be on the team next year for the Phoenix Mercury. A separate video on that coming tomorrow. Most likely Brittany Griner is not going to be there. Dinah Taurasi may or may not retire, TBD. Natasha Cloud, she's cool. She'll be there another year. I think they need a change. This Phoenix Mercury team needs to change, and why not insert both Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner on your team? Like I think it just it makes a lot of sense to me. I think that could actually work out really well for Alyssa to go there and be that point forward and get Phoenix back to winning some good games. So yeah, that's my thoughts there. But ultimately, the market has changed. What you would get for a trade for Satou Sabally, or what you would have to give up to get Satou Sabally or Alyssa Thomas or any one of these other like high level 1 year deal players, you're gonna have to give up quite a bit because of what the LA Sparks had to give up to get Kelsey Plum. Though they did get back the number 9 pick, so that's something. But still, the market's changed. These players are valued very, very highly, especially if they indicate that they will sign a longer term deal with the team that is trading for them. So like that's a thing. Anyway, I just want to talk about it real quick and just talk about my thoughts about specifically these players who have gotten cored already and ultimately what might happen as a result. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Till next time, guys. Bye bye.